Oh, he's a squid. Or an octopus. A squidopus.
Who goes there?
Or, I suppose, Great Cthulhu, possibly. Is it Great Cthulhu who goes there?
Again. I need a drink.
No, you don't. You neither need a drink nor shall receive a drink, Pierce. We can run, right? Yes, we can run. Ooh.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Fine. Oh. Yeah, that's not bad.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep
I
long?
feel like Great Cthulhu has been poking around inside my brain.
It's fine.
Hello, friends! I have to talk to Bradley.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
But you're
Mr. Pierce,
dead!
all right. You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Well, he died, for starters. Okay, let's see. Occultism professional. Oh, our occultism is not high enough. Alright, let's start by talking to Bradley. Our medicine is not high enough. Okay, hang on a sec. Can I, No, I can't back out of this. Alright. Then you saw Charles was alive.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact
You were
that
there.
Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Would
Why
you?
would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
Yes.
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
This floor we're standing on seems pretty concrete. You and Dr. Colden, we can test our psychology.
You two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone.
That's a good point.
Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do seem a little bit stupid, don't I?
Aw, do you have a crush, Bradley?
Let's get back to the business at hand.
Your memory seems to be failing you.
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion.
Here, where we're standing.
You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
Is that normal for people on this
I went to
island?
visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. You should be dead. Okay, why do I need to test medical to tell him that he should be dead? Talk to Colden. Did Fuller found Riverside?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
There were only like
Powerful
2 ships on the
families
island.
dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know
Maybe you
anything
should?
else?
A little bit? Sarah Hawkins was committed.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the instant.
I seem to be having an allergic reaction to
It
something.
makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
I don't know. I don't think I have the skill to determine that. But I saw some dead bodies.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even
You'd be
hear what
surprised
you're
how
saying?
similar those things can be.
Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to
Ooh,
you.
it's
I'm
Ethan.
listening, Mr. Pierce.
Ethan Bradley. He has 2 first names. Let's see. What they had me endure.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller. And a nurse. Blood. Everywhere.
Not my blood, just
Legs.
blood.
The pain, I couldn't bear it. I
Also,
was
what's up with
screaming.
Bradley's eyes?
They injected me with something.
He's
I
got
woke
that
up in the
Innsmouth look.
institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me.
I guess in case
After you released
somebody
me,
missed the last
I
chapter.
had a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Yeah, a hospital.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce
Yeah,
saw
Ethan.
is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I might be onto a lead.
I met a Francis Sanders. You know him.
Met past
Of
tense.
course, he's a patient.
That's important.
Was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller
You
had
okay
him
there, Bradley?
transferred to the basement.
Seem to be struggling with the chair.
You, Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
Good question.
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
He spontaneously tore himself into pieces.
I didn't see what. But
What was with the physics on her dress there?
with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said
Of what?
it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
It could
You know,
be.
Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
Why would I do
Art
that?
collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders
That's
household,
how I met your mom.
please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
No.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
Yes.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Shut up. Counterpoint? Better to confront the truth.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
This will affect
Better
your destiny.
madness than ignorance. Very well.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
No promises.
I'll do my best.
Okay, yeah, sorry about the sniffling, folks. That's just going to be kind of a thing here for a bit.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Okay, is there anything else we can do here before we leave? Let's take a quick look around. Oh, that's not good. They really don't want us climbing up there, huh? Why bother including the ladder at all? It's like, oh, why can't I look at the books up there? Because the ladder's broken! Oop, something on the table. Ah, a drink. Nope, we're not even going to pick that up. You have to confront reality, Pierce. No running away for you. We already know there's nothing up here, but is there any... Can we go through here? Oh, I see. We can just leave. So no matter which way we go, we are moving on to the next scene. Chapter break? Chapter break! Well, scene break. We're still on chapter 6,
what can
apparently.
I do for you, sir?
Hey!
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
No.
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
I
That
am
is precisely
quite aware.
what brings me here.
Oh, hey, it's Kat!
Well, well, look who's here.
Two eligible bachelorettes?
You
It's your
know
lucky
each
day,
other.
Pierce.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating
What is that
someone's
thing Kat is wearing
It's
around
a
her
small
waist?
island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
She's wearing spats.
This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
It would seem. I like your creepy artwork.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
He really
Oh.
went to pieces about
Of
it.
course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone.
No.
The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died.
I'm just that good.
How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Let's see. Let's start by testing psychology.
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need
Shoot.
to understand.
I was really counting on that.
How could this happen? In a reputed institute. And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
About that. I share your grief, but I had nothing to do with it. We can test eloquence. Sure, let's test eloquence. Why not? Let's just tick her off here.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective.
Thank you.
Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Your fur thingy's lopsided. Let's see. Sure, let's start with this one.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over
Kind
the
of a
last
freak, is
5
he?
years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Macabre. What is Kat doing here?
May I ask you what Miss Baker is?
Sorry, Ms. Baker.
How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much, at least.
Alright, here we go.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
You know what? I will.
It
Thank
is
you.
my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
I might be a little while, because I am, of course, going to take the time to look around her house and poke into her belongings. This right here, for example.
Did she really care for him, after all?
Dear Madam, oh, we got an achievement for inspecting 50 items. I acknowledge receipt of the letter in which you demand the body of your deceased husband. I am sorry to inform you that I cannot agree to return his body to you. At the moment of his internment, you signed a discharge allowing me to dispose of his body as I see fit. I extend my deepest condolences to you, Thomas Fuller. I'm not sure you liked your husband, Irene.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Is there any reason to look at the back of this? There is not. Oh, reconstruction! Meow. But why? What are we constructing?
A house of artists. Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close.
You got that from a teacup
Friends?
sitting on the coffee table? Okay. So,
A house of artists.
that's all I can get out of the piano, alright? Tell me about that. That kind of looks like Irene, but with an eye missing. Is that prophetic? There she is again, bleeding from the eyes. Is that why she didn't like you, Sarah?
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
I imagine we'll find out when we look at it, huh? Oh, this is it over here, apparently.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting.
This is a
How
reconstruction?
did that make her feel?
I think this is a lot of supposition on Pierce's part.
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Jealous? He didn't even look at it. He imagined looking at it, and it hurt.
The Shambler.
Okay.
I need to see it.
I got some questions for you about your husband, lady. Alright, we'll go into the gallery eventually. Oh.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Edison gold molded record. Yes, please, but we'll come back to that. Oh, that one is not of Irene. We'll just let ourselves into the rooms here. Oh, what is that? And who is that? Huh. Ooh. Let us try the phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake.
You don't mind, do
I
you?
fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything.
Can do.
I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids.
So stop closing your eyes.
I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Your husband was a lunatic.
Gallery. Those accursed paintings, that accursed Sarah.
Okay, did anybody happen to catch the tune in there?
Irene,
Let's try this
I made a
again.
mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids. Each time I shut my eyes.
Okay.
I can't take any more.
Okay. Nope. Let's try. There we go.
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire?
Okay, memorize that image, because we're going to need that in a minute. Art and Mysticism, Forgotten Objects, is a collection written by Francis Sanders. In it, he catalogs and categorizes objects from all ages and origins that are linked to occult or mystical practices. It is opened at the page of a dagger that bears a symbol that is not unknown to me. That is a version of the Elder Sign, for those of you not versed in the lore. Okay, so remember that shape. Ooh, occultism regression. Ooh, we have points. What shall we spend those on? We can't spend them on these. We should probably... I feel like capping our investigation. That's what we're going to go with. We are detective. Okay. Oh. Breviary of Medicine, Tome 2. This second volume in this series covers everything from gas gangrene to trench nephritis. In addition to a precise and detailed study, the book presents some avant-garde theories. The incredible complexity of this book reserves it for medical experts. Avant-garde medical theory. How do we feel about that, viewers? Sounds unlikely. I'll say that. Is this the gallery or his office? This is his office. Cat's in here. Let's look around before we talk to her.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
It's probably ritual. The whale and the cod. A brief history of Darkwater Island. Okay, great. I've been looking for a copy of that.
I could use one of those.
Nope. I picked them up. Did not want them. Oh well. Liber 10B. Probably can't read that.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Dear Francis, I beg you to give up all hope of ever owning this accursed painting. If our friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the weight of guilt. I cannot be the architect of your fall. I beg you, my dear friend, forget the shambler. She tried to save him, but he wanted it.
An old diary.
Diary of the Pastor's Wife, Volume 3. This volume spends some time on Reverend Wickwood's community. His wife expresses her worries about the strange dreams that the Reverend's congregation are having since their arrival on the island. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their vision as a messenger sent by God. She is scared that they will suffer the same fate as the lost tribe. How'd that work out? Is that relevant to something? Can we use that information? Ooh. Busted open! We'll rob the joint. Take this key. Yeah! Oh, I see. We're supposed to have that. Ooh, dissertation on an anatomical question. It is the work of a student in book form. Although the observations are relevant, they lack the expertise of an experienced physician. However, the questions asked allow us to imagine new ways of exploring human anatomy. I would like more information, actually. Hello, Catherine. No, wait. Would you read the book? What book is it? Yes. Malleus Bestiarum. Okay, and we got an achievement for reading this. It is a kind of encyclopedia of monstrous and unknown creatures. I'm beginning to believe that they exist. Yeah, we just made him a little bit more crazy, I think. Alright, let's talk to Kat.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I'm just here, lady.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Your mom. I've got to verify the paintings for a buyer. She's not going to believe that. Yeah.
Another painting.
We'll just
by
be straight
Sarah
with her. There's no reason to lie, right?
One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
Mrs. Sanders knows your real name.
There's more than that, Miss Baker.
So people have been talking behind my back. I was almost beginning to like you, Mr. Pierce.
No, you weren't.
But it stays Cat for you.
You knew the Sanders?
Irene is a friend of mine.
What are you doing here?
You. What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not.
Also, can I have her house?
On Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Well, Fitzroy hasn't threatened to kill me yet. Hey, get back here. I'm not done with you yet.
I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Go take a hike, Detective.
Okay. Apparently we don't get to explore the rest of the dialogue options. What is this? That is probably the gallery, so let's check out this other door. Okay, locked. Almost like she doesn't want us wandering around her house. Okay then, let's do this thing. Hey Cat, you want to see a monster? This looks okay for now.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
You know that just by looking at them? He's a much better archaeologist than I am. That's kind of metal. Ah, yes, a pre-Columbian telescope. We will take just a moment to explore the gallery. Oh. Okay, that's like a Cthulhu Madonna. Not sure how I feel about that. It's very unsettling, at the least. We're not going over there yet. I want to sight our dagger before we commit to anything.
Why was he so interested in old
I
weapons?
think that's ours, right there.
Why was he so
we can't pry that
interested
open
in
yet.
old weapons?
Also, these terrifying statues. And you know, I think this might be in the same location every time. I honestly don't remember. I like the look of that one, though. That's a nice looking dagger. Oil. Good. Ooh, look at that one. Is that also Irene? Fairly normal lion if you ignore the noodle beard.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
I would probably do the same had I the option. Were my house big enough to have wings? That's creepy. Oh, this kid's throttling a goose or something. A bear mauling a seal, I guess. Or a smaller bear? It's got a tail, so probably a seal or sea lion. This is possibly a real corpse that's been cast. What are you? More oil? Yep. Okay, let's do this thing. Uh-oh, cinematic. That's never a good sign. His hair immediately becomes disheveled. I like that. Quick, get in the closet! It doesn't appear to have any eyes, but somehow, I don't think that's a detriment. Okay.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but we got 2 CP, so we're going to spend that real quick. Sorry, Pierce. Hang tight. What do we like? Psychology or spot hidden? Let's do spot hidden. Call of Cthulhu, you can never go wrong with a little spot hidden. There it is. Oh, has it spotted us? We'll see if we can get through this without being killed. We need to get to that dagger. I think as long as we go low and slow... I'm not sure where it is relative to us right now. Oh, there it is. Hold it together, Pierce. Okay. You can come out now. I think what we want is right over here.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Oh. Does it? Hang on. Did I screw up? Does it look different? Looks right to me. Let's give it a try. I believe what we need to do is just run over here and jam it into the painting. Oh, I see. He just meant different from the others. Quick, cut your arm off! There you go, that's the spirit. See, if you know what you're doing, that scene's not so bad. Oh, yep, that will have to come off. Get away from the painting!
What's the matter with you?
Nothing! There, got an achievement for finishing that with the right dagger on the first try. Fantastic.
You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
Wait, are you threatening me?
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Oh, yeah. The painting was cursed. Let's try, I don't think Kat's gonna buy our occultism, so let's just tell her that we were attacked by a creature.
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
Really? Really? You knew about the monster?
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about?
Nope.
Think yourself
That was
lucky
the
that I
wrong
saved
move.
your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by
But
the
also
way,
me.
where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
And you give me this information free of charge?
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade.
Ah, she did know that something
Now go
was
see
up.
your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Is she upset that I broke into her gallery?